we'd like to welcome you today to what is a gourmet kitchen, or how to put gourmet into your kitchen. And obviously, as you know, I'm Jennifer Bosnos.
And I'm Cheryl.
And today we've been graciously sponsored by Grand Appliances, and we have Lena Cynthia with us today, who is our appliance guru. She's going to be talking about appliances a little bit later for us.
There's a little background information about Jennifer and I. Both of us actually graduated from Harrington College of Design, bachelor's degree in Fine Arts of Interior Design. I also have a background in commercial design, hospitality design, and then have been here with Insignia for over 3 years now, and I love the kitchen bath industry.
And I've actually been in the industry since 2007, and I've actually specialized in kitchen and bath design ever since. And I extremely love my job and working with clients and figuring out their problems and helping come up with great solutions for them.
So, what is the definition of gourmet? Gourmet is a connoisseur of fine food and drink. A person devoted to refined sensuous enjoyment, especially food and drink.
So just a little bit of history about gourmet. Gourmet is actually a French term which means wine broker. And actually, it didn't always have a reputable connotation. It actually, in the 18th century, was a disreputable connotation and of gluttony. Actually, in the encyclopedia, it was considered a demoralizing term defined as refined and uncontrolled love of good food. Actually, it was oftentimes associated with the overindulgence of decadent food by the Romans. It wasn't until Monsieur Gourmand, and excuse my pronunciation of that, brought the term back to its original respectable meaning when he published what was considered the first restaurant guide published in Paris in 1803.
What has really evolutionized gourmet? The Food Network is huge for gourmet. It's all over the media. Who doesn't watch Food Network in order to get a great recipe? We also have the Gourmet magazine. Wine tastings, they're huge all over the country. California, who wouldn't want to do wine tasting? We've got Cooper's Hawk right here in Barrington, wine tasting all the time. There's even culinary cruises. The Tribune has a food and dining section. And then we've got the food festivals out there.
So obviously gourmet has really transformed our lives. It is a huge part of it. So I'm going to actually open up the conversation now to our audience and see what you guys think gourmet is. What's the first thing that pops into your mind when you think gourmet?
Good food.
Good food, fine dining. In this context, the ability to have our kitchen be able to prepare this kind of
Yes, exactly.
You got it.
Something that's important.
Right, like higher
absolutely.
end appliances and, you know, just a kitchen that
functions.
right,
function.
right.
Well,
And looks nice. Besides the function, you know, the aesthetics of it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Those are some great examples. We actually did the same thing. We actually put this question up on our Facebook page and kind of saw what our broader audience thought. So we did ask them, what does the concept of gourmet mean to you?
Andy said it was the flavor.
Cheryl thought it was presentation first, then the flavor.
Michelle agreed. Presentation, then flavor.
Katoya most definitely thought it was the experience.
Vivian, it's the quality of flavor, presentation, old-fashioned experience.
So, we took what people were telling us and we kind of consolidated that into 5 key elements of what we thought made a gourmet kitchen. The first one being refined taste. And we're going to go into detail about these categories a little bit later.
It's that cooking experience in your kitchen could make it gourmet.
Expensive and high quality ingredients is often thought of when people are thinking of a gourmet dining experience.
That elaborate presentation that you give when you have guests over could be gourmet.
And how you're feeling when you're eating that gourmet food and that ambiance in that restaurant or in that home.
So how does gourmet fit into your kitchen? Let's take a look at how it could fit into your kitchen. Diving in deeper into what refined taste is, and really it's going to vary between cultures, hobbies, and different generations. And we've kind of segregated these out into the different cultures and hobbies. We've got European, North American, Asian, kosher, butcher/fisherman, vegans, vegetarians, bakers, and wine connoisseurs.
So European kitchen. What do we think of when we think European kitchen? What comes to my mind is typically a European kitchen is in an old city, which doesn't have a lot of space. However, it doesn't mean that they don't have good taste in food or that they don't like to prepare food. Oftentimes, Europeans are very sociable, like to have company over, like to invite people over, like to go out and dine. So, the key question about a European kitchen is how do we cram all of that wonderful gourmet things into a really tight space? I don't know if you guys noticed this kitchen, but it's actually our front display. Did you guys notice it walking in this morning? So this is a really good idea, a really good example of a European style gourmet kitchen. They don't have a lot of space. So what we have here is we've got a nice cooktop, electric cooktop, very sleek, could be used for cooking various different items. We've got a speed oven down on the bottom, which is a great way to combine pretty much 3 cooking techniques into one. Not only is it a convection oven, it's also a microwave, and it also speed cooks. So using different elements to create that type of environment. Usually these spaces are open to other areas of the home. So we've got a kind of elegant looking hood over there that doesn't really look so industrial. We've also got your commercial grade faucet that you see in the other photo and kind of your commercial standard sink in there. All with material that's very easy to clean and not a lot of fuss to maintain.
The second kitchen really is also putting a lot in a small space, getting a lot of bang for your buck. Another European look is their streamlined look. So they've really integrated the refrigerator, the dishwasher, putting panels on it so that they just blend in with the cabinetry, giving it that seamless look.
Here's another really great example. I was talking about how tight quarters are in Europe usually. So space is very valuable. So in this picture, you're noticing that they actually have a retractable table. So when they do have their guests over and they are preparing for their family and friends, they can have somewhere to seat them and to actually have a nice meal together. However, when nobody's over and you're just looking to cook something pretty quick, just slide that away and you've got a nice gourmet galley style kitchen in this space. And again, hinting on how it's very streamlined, very clean, very easy materials to keep up and maintain.
Now we move on to North American gourmet kitchens. In this kitchen, North Americans, they're looking to entertain a lot of people in their kitchen, looking for their bigger style kitchen. Bigger is better when it comes to appliances. We've got a nice 36-inch wide range, nice wood hood as your focal point there, seating at the island to entertain your guests. On that back wall, you see a refrigerator and a freezer, but it's paneled, so it looks seamless there. They've got the nice double oven on the side. Bigger is better when it comes to appliances in North American.
We always need to make our kitchen kind of reflect our own personal tastes. So what you're seeing in this kitchen is a gourmet style kitchen in a very warm, welcoming space that kind of almost has that country elegant feel to it. You're going to notice that you have the 48-inch wolf range there with a griddle in the center, so you can kind of do various different types of cooking. You're going to have a very nice industrial style hood above it, definitely sucking up all that BTU that oven is putting into the air to make it a nice safe environment for you to even use these industrial style appliances. I wouldn't have been able to guess this if I didn't know this, but all the way in the back there, you're going to see integrated refrigerator panels that are really nicely built in, really also creating a focal point, yet very, very user-friendly. And as you can see, we can definitely mix different styles. You've got this really commercial faucet in this kitchen that otherwise looks extremely elegant. We can definitely blend in different ideas into this space.
Who doesn't love polished Dean for that southern cooking. And to show off what type of gourmet kitchen she cooks in, she's got that deep fryer to make all that down-home southern cooking, what she cooks about. So I think this is a really great to show that gourmet kitchen.
That'd be dangerous.
And that fryer in there?
Yeah.
Everything would be fried. I'd end up having a heart attack.
We can have demonstrations later if you'd like. You're all open to that. Here is a perfect example of having that industrial style kitchen in your home. You know, you're seeing a lot of stainless steel in this kitchen. However, by being able to incorporate it with some warm tones, it is something that you can literally take out of a commercial style kitchen and plop right into your home, still giving you that warmth, not making you feel like you're working in that commercial kitchen, and still making it a very pleasant place for your family to come and gather and socialize.
Moving on to Asian gourmet. What makes Asian gourmet, they're known for having lots of family coming over. They cook, you know, for tons of people, making sure they've got feng shui within their kitchen. So, you know, in this kitchen, they got seamless design and making sure everything flows together. That's really what is known with their Asian gourmet cooking.
This is clearly Asian influence. It is extremely important when you're thinking of a gourmet kitchen to put your own personality into it. You have to make it functional for you and for your needs and for what you're planning to do in this space. Clearly this person has obviously done that by putting their taste with that dragon in the backsplash over this cooktop, kind of covering up their industrial style hood with a little bit more of that Asian look that you're looking for. They've got a nice area in order to be able to entertain their friends and family in this space.
Going along with the Asian kitchen, your woks are, you know, completely and totally important when it comes to Asian cooking. So having these module on your island or on the perimeter so that it's easy to use that wok. Also, you know, Asians cook a lot of rice, so a steam module would be very helpful for in an Asian gourmet kitchen.
Kosher kitchen. So what do we think of when we think of kosher? Obviously, kosher typically associates itself with the Jewish faith, and depending on how orthodox you are in that Jewish faith, there's different rules to how you need to have your kitchen. Typically, the rule, however, is to have two of everything so that you have one section to prepare your meat and another section to prepare the rest of your produce. So in this picture, you're obviously seeing that kosher kitchen. They've got 2 sinks, 2 faucets, and 2 dishwashers to clearly stay within the rules of their religion.
Like Jen said, with kosher, double everything. They got double the range, double the refrigerator, double the sinks, but still making this kitchen very functional for these cooks.
Bakers. Before I get into this section, you also have to create space to kind of incorporate your hobbies. Do you guys have any hobbies that you tend to like or that would be associated in your kitchen? You got any fishermen, bakers, vegetarians, nothing like that? No?
I grill a lot, but that's usually outside.
Grill a lot?
Yeah.
That's something they could probably even bring into the kitchen. We're going to show you a couple of things later on about that. What happens if, like today, you don't want to be out there cold grilling your food.
Just wear your coat.
So it's very important to kind of incorporate your hobbies as well. What you're seeing here is a baker's dream in their kitchen. Typically, when you're a baker, you're going to want a different counter that's a little bit lower than our standard high countertop space at 36 inches. You want to be able to get on top of your bread to be able to knead it well. You're also going to need some type of a surface where your dough doesn't stick to it. Marble is a great material for that, is what you clearly see here in this baking zone that this client has put into their home. You want to be able to function quickly and efficiently in your space.
Jen kind of described about the baking zone. So within this kitchen, this client wanted a baking zone. So it's a great baking zone area. It's off to the side of the kitchen. Basically, we used hinge doors to pocket back to view their baking area. Like Jen said, we've got marble on there to knead out the dough. It is a lower cabinet on that to knead the dough, but she's also got her mix master, she's got her recipes, her food processor, all in one area, just grab and go and able to get everything done in one area.
And then that had doors that could, that's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Efficiency is key in our lives today. I don't know a single person who doesn't know that they're busy and always on the run. So creating areas within your kitchen where you have everything at the touch of your fingertips is extremely important. So in this photo, you're going to notice that we kind of kept the cupboard up above this baking station, easy access, clear containers, able to grab their ingredients and get going with what they need to do. And you can clearly see that you don't really need a huge section of your kitchen to be able to create these specialized zone areas in order to prepare what you need. Just took a little section over to the right of the refrigerator. You can notice that the countertop is slightly lower for that ability to be able to bake a little bit easier, and you have all your ingredients right over there.
Here's another cool idea for that baking zone area. It's a roll-out table area, so that, you know, say if you aren't baking and you need that walkway room, just roll it on back in as soon as you're done.
Appliances are extremely important, and as you'll see here, we have a warming drawer, which is a great accessory to have in a baker's kitchen, because not only do you have a nice, warm, moist place to be able to put your dough in so that it can rise properly, but once you finish baking that, you have a place to stick that bread back in before you start serving it to your loved ones and keep it nice and warm.
Next, another great appliance for those bakers is a steam oven. A steam oven is great. It's another way of healthy cooking, but you can also bake your bread in here, your pies, your crepes. You know, a baker's dream would love to have this appliance in their kitchen.
Ovens. Ovens are not only important for bakers, but this is a really good place to kind of explain how this works. What you're seeing here is professional ovens, double ovens obviously. The first one is a convection oven. So in the old times in the older appliances, not old times, you used to have a baking element either at the top or the bottom of your oven. Those days are gone with the convection oven. You get a nice even baking element all the way around with that fan kind of rotating that air around your product, so you get a nice brown crust around everything that you put in there, not just on the top or the bottom. And then obviously you have the French door ovens as well, which is actually increasingly becoming more popular nowadays. It's allowed you to open the two doors and have a larger cavity to be able to stick in those baking sheets and use those little bit utilize this oven to your advantage. Not to mention that they have some awesome retractable shelves, so that you don't have to stick your head in the oven to see if things are working, or struggle with getting those shelves out to test your bread.
Moving on to wine connoisseurs. Who doesn't love wine, you know? I would love to have this kitchen. What's great with this kitchen, flanking the refrigerator, you've got two wine refrigerators. Also, hidden in the floor is their wine cellar.
How cool is that?
Right? I want this kitchen.
Yes.
So how does that?
That like just some tempered glass on top of it?
I would think so, yeah.
Some pretty thick tempered
Yes.
glass out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, how cool.
Absolutely.
You don't actually get in there from there, you just see it.
Yeah, you just see it from
Right.
over there. Yeah. There's definitely a different entrance. Although that'd be kind of cool. You think they
Right.
could take the
Just like,
floor and just like
woo,
elevate
right.
down? Yeah.
And that's someplace local around here?
I actually found this on House, so I
Okay.
don't think it's local.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe
But something that
California.
could be local. Anyone?
I like wine, but I don't have, I keep about somewhere between 50 and 80 bottles on hand, and I don't have that kind of wine.
It can be
Still
a
is a
small
cool
I could have one of those refrigerators.
Continuing on with this wine theory, again, you need to put your personality into the kitchen. So this client decided to create a focal wall with their wine, displaying it as almost like an art piece.
Yeah.
I mean, how awesome is this to have in your kitchen? Definitely a conversation starter. Not to mention, by being able to close it off with those glass doors, you can control the humidity and the temperature in this area, making sure that you make that wine last. Because you don't want to buy 50 bottles and then having to toss them because they didn't taste good. They didn't taste well.
Kind of going off of, this is a nice bar area, kind of maybe off to the side of your kitchen, they really wanted to incorporate a barrel because they're really into distilleries, into, you know, wine, to kind of give it that authentic barrel wine look.
And of course, let's not forget our most important gourmet chefs in the home, our kids. They need awesome Fisher Pickle or Fisher Price kind of appliances here in the kitchen. Getting them ready to cook for you when they're older.
So here are some different cooking techniques. So not only cooking techniques, but your cooking station. What's really great about this picture you see here are all the added accessories into your cabinetry. Nice rollouts, enabled to see everything that you have in that cabinet. We've got nice pullouts for oils, for spices, everything within the reach of that range area that you will be doing your cooking.
So, along with cooking techniques, there's a lot of different appliances out there that actually help with these things. So what you're looking at right now is an induction cooktop. You guys ever heard of an induction cooktop before? You guys know how this works? So essentially, it's pretty much works off of the magnetic components of the metal pot and pan, and then it starts heating the metal up of the pot and pan as opposed to heating up the surface like a regular cooktop would do. So as you're seeing in the top photo, the chocolate is melting only within the pan and not actually on the cooktop itself because the cooktop surface is not heating up. Typically with an induction cooktop, you've got very quick boiling times, you have very good heat coming out. The one thing that you do have to be aware about an induction cooktop is that all pots and pans are made equal in this in the eye of the induction cooktop. You do have to have some specific pots and pans with some specific qualities within them.
It makes it really safe for kids.
Does induction lend itself to certain types of cooking more than other, like boiling or deep frying or searing, or will it do everything just as equally? Or?
It usually does everything as equally. I'm going to let Lena kind of take this question a little bit.
Yeah, when you're cooking with induction, what it does, like she said, it heats up the actual pot, not the surface. So it is more energy efficient. It boils within minutes, turns off quick, turns on quick. So it's a lot more efficient than gas or electric. They are coming around in price too. They used to be more expensive, but now they're coming down in price a little bit.
And very popular in Europe, right?
Yeah, very popular.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still control the temperature very well, and go really high, go really low, and everywhere in between.
Yeah.
And actually, you can see that in this picture. I don't know about you guys if you've ever actually tried to melt chocolate to a good consistency. It is extremely hard with most appliances unless you've got that really low kind of simmer quality to your cooktop. So you can see that it clearly is able to get into various temperatures extremely easily. We actually did a test one time at one of my trainings for appliances, and we actually tested a gas oven versus an induction oven to see which pot of water would boil quicker. Induction blew it out of the water. So it is very efficient.
Next is putting a pizza oven in your kitchen. Yes, it'd be very fun. You know, South American cooking, they do a lot of brick oven cooking. Definitely we can incorporate that into your kitchen if you're really into pizza cooking.
So, something else, we have any meat lovers here today? Obviously we know we have a griller here, so you gotta love meat.
Yep.
Again, putting your own personality into your kitchen, I can't stress that enough. You really gotta put that where you can. So in this kitchen, I'm kind of displaying a little bit more of what a butcher or a meat eater would like. So obviously, having a nice area to be able to chop up your meat by adding a nice butcher block table at the end of their island, making it extremely functional for them in their kitchen, but yet not taking away from anything, kind of incorporating it into the aesthetics. And over to the right, we have been talking about zones and how important zones are in your kitchen, create efficiency, kind of seeing how this cook on the other picture kind of set up their zone, having their ingredients right at their fingertips, being able to quickly maneuver and prepare their food easily.
Also, you know, going along with that butcher or fisherman, on the picture on the left, we're showing stainless steel, easy to clean up after, you know, all of the fish guts, that slime, you know, butcher. A butcher needs a butcher block in order to really cut and cut up those meats. And then with the vegetarian on the right hand, the picture, how we've got a chopping block with a hole with a trash can right below. Easy, accessible, all in one place.
Efficiency. Efficiency is key. Having everything at your fingertips. So you're going to notice just little things. You don't want to overlook the details. The details of your kitchen is what really makes it personal and makes it work well for you. So in this kitchen, obviously knives were a focal point, creating a little block in the countertop to be able to quickly store those knives, or maybe using a magnetic strip, having everything up for you. You can see what kind of knife you need, what kind of knife you want to use instead of shoveling through your messy drawer to try and find that correct knife. And then obviously adding decor that kind of makes a statement piece, letting you know where you're working and what you specialize in.
Speaking of utensils, you can also put utensils inside your cabinetry with this great organizational of your knives inside your cabinetry with this great organizer.
Produce that you don't necessarily need to put in the refrigerator but have no idea where else to put. I put mine in the garage right now. I don't really like it over there right now. So, what a better idea than to kind of create some like little wicker baskets for those produce that doesn't necessarily need to be refrigerated, easily accessible when you're cooking. How often? I mean, I don't know about you, I'm Greek. Pretty much every single one of my foods incorporates some type of onion and garlic saute before I do anything else. So it's constantly being used in my house. Not to mention having a great area for a bread box in your counters as well. Good place to be able to keep that bread without it going stale.
Moving on to pull out waste trash. Who wants to see a trash can just sitting out? We'd like to incorporate it into your cabinetry, and especially in that work zone, you know, right next to your sink, so you can scrape off all your debris and put it in the trash.
I do not function without espresso in the morning. I literally don't. I need to have my coffee. So I would love this in my home because this would be awesome. So in the first picture, again, you're seeing those pocket doors, nice area to hide away with a roll-out shelf, a nice coffee maker on the top, and a pot filler right above. You don't have to move that pot filler. You don't have to fill up your pot with water. Just right above your coffee maker, pour in your water. You're good to go to set it. And then as well, even better, a built-in coffee machine, which we have here, by the way. So if you haven't gotten coffee from there yet, you have to try it. And on the bottom of this, putting in a warming drawer. Not only is it a good place for you to be able to keep your mugs warm, but also another great storage solution. So you don't have to be putting that in different areas of your home. It's a great way to spice up the coffee area.
Husbands out there, who wouldn't want a beer tap in your kitchen? Come on.
In the kitchen. Yeah.
There you go. Could be right off to the side. You know, you've got 2 tappers. In the first photo, there's 3 tappers. I mean, if you're into that beer loving or even making your own beer, this would be great to have in a gourmet kitchen.
Quality of ingredients. Like we were saying, if the quality of the ingredients is no good, then it's not even worth cooking it. You need to make sure you've got fresh ingredients. So before you actually start cooking, we need to make sure that we are able to preserve the ingredients that you're purchasing from that farmer's market to be able to make that good gourmet food.
This slide shows you where exactly you are supposed to be storing your foods in your refrigerator. It's saying the upper shelves, they should be storing drinks, yogurt, and even leftovers. Your lower shelf should be, you should be putting your eggs, your milk, your deli, your cheeses. Your bottom shelf is the coldest section, so your meat, your poultry, your fish. And then in your drawers, it should be your crisper drawers, which are your lettuce, your vegetables, your fruit, stuff like that.
We're talking about high-end appliances and putting that into your gourmet kitchen. This is, in my opinion, a genius idea for people. Because I don't know about you, I mean, I actually am a daughter to a produce wholesale distributor, so I do know a little bit about this, but most people do not know this information. And one of the great things that some of the higher end quality appliances, such as Sub-Zero, which is what we're looking at right now, they actually have within the refrigerator a little slot for these food quality preservation cards. literally tells you what temperature your food should be stored at, and if you store it properly, and what section of the refrigerator should be stored, and if you store them properly, how long to expect the life for that fruit or vegetable to last. So really, I don't know, but spoiling food really just kind of takes money out of your pocket. So I know that initially these appliances have a high price tag, but in the long run, actually can help you save money by preserving your food for you longer.
Like Jen said, preserving your food. With Sub-Zero and Wolf, the thing that actually preserves the food is this air purification system that goes into your refrigerator. Not only Sub-Zero, but LeBaire also does it as well, and that will help preserve your food in your refrigerator.
All right, so you gotta get techie in your kitchen sometimes. So here is a great gadget in your appliances that, you're rushing in the morning and you think you slammed your refrigerator shut, but it slightly stays open, and now you're losing air quality out of your refrigerator. It's not staying cool, and you're coming home a few hours later, 8, 9, 10 hours later, you're thinking, I'm gonna grab some delicious milk to drink, but it hasn't been cool for 8 to 10 hours. So this great gadget actually sends a text message to your phone letting you know that either the power went out and your refrigerator hasn't been working for so long, or that you accidentally left your refrigerator doors open. So you cannot forget the small, we're innovating every single day, so it's important to kind of be able to add that into your kitchen as well. And we're looking to the future. Not only are we thinking of today's innovations, but we're also thinking about tomorrow's. I know this looks a little freaking, kind of out of an alien movie, but this is actually where some of the refrigeration is going to the future. This is actually a non-sticky gel where you actually can stick your food in it. It creates kind of a pocket around your food, and it senses what food that's going in there, and then it cools it to the correct temperature. You can kind of see what it looks like flat, and then how it grows when it gets full. You can hang it up on the ceiling, you can put it on the floor. I mean, crazy things of where the future of refrigeration is going.
Another important thing for the wine connoisseurs is the wine refrigerator. And what's great about wine refrigerators, they've got tinted glass so that wine will never spoil or ever go bad. The lighting is huge for the wine so that it doesn't go bad. Also dual zones for your wine. You've got your reds, you've got your whites. Those two have 2 different temperatures. Oh, next we've got decor. This is great. We actually had this on display for a open house we had, and got great reviews. With this wine station by Decor, you can fit up to 4 wine bottles in there. They last up to 60 days. They run on argon gas, and that's what helps to preserve your wine. The picture that you see on the right-hand side, you can say what type of wine is in there, what year, and basically your guests can pour different servings as well.
We really want to educate our clients, and we can sell you some of the best appliances out there. We can do whatever you want, but unless we're educated, on what you actually need for your produce and the product that you're purchasing, it really is for naught. So one of the things that I'm going to point out here is this is a great little cheat sheet to show you what type of wine you're drinking and what the ideal temperature is. One of the misconceptions that I constantly hear is that people think that red wine should be at room temperature. And actually, when that was decided, that was back when room temperature was actually 65 degrees and not 75 degrees like it is today. So that's one of the misconceptions, and one of the things that's great to working with experts to be able to tell you what exactly you need to do.
Next, so we're going to talk more about adding accessories to your cabinetry. What's great about this, there's nice rollouts so that you can view everything from your canned goods to your dry goods, even metal shelving attached to the doors, just so that everything's organized. You can get it, grab it, and go.
Back on that type of organization, there's all different types of systems that are out there. What you're seeing on the far picture over there is a pantry pullout, which is amazing. You can access it, great for small spaces, have a lot of accessibility to it. I am going to say buyer beware. You don't want to be putting all of your pop cans on this thing and storing it up high and really filling it up, because it will get pretty heavy. You're opening up all those drawers at the same time. But something that you don't have to worry about is actually the rollout shelf. Really great for those deeper cabinets where you don't have to push everything aside to see what's all the way back there. Pull out that drawer, see the whole drawer and exactly what's on there.
Another great item to have near your cooking zone, mainly your range zone, are spice pullouts, and even like in the second photo they have oils and all different other types of needs that you will need at the range. I think these are really great for that cook.
I am constantly not being able to open my spatula drawer because something is stuck in there. And I'm like constantly trying to fidget with it and trying to like get it to open again. So this is a different way to be able to store those spatulas strategically placed right next to your range, so that you can have easy access to everything that you need and you don't have to fidget anymore with the drawer not opening.
Now, does something like that, like, is that the cabinet has to be like that, or is that like an insert that can go inside the cabinet?
It's like an accessory.
It's an accessory.
Yeah,
Okay, so you don't have to. So you just have to have like a pull-out cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct. Yep. Moving on. So another great drawer accessory is a plate and bowl organizer in an actual drawer instead of up in a cabinet. Great for younger kids so that they can, grab a plate or a bowl all by themselves without having to ask mom or dad.
Those corners are impossible to get things out of. So we have some great solutions for making sure that your blind corner is actually something that is functional for you. What you're seeing in this picture is that you actually have a section that's attached to the door. When you pull open the door, the first section comes out, and whatever in the back of the blind is actually getting pulled forward, so you can pretty much see everything that's in that cabinet at one glance. You no longer have to go digging in the back of your blind cabinet to find whatever hidden treasures are back there.
Another great corner solution are corner drawers. Drawers are great. You can extend them all the way out, see what's in there, put them away, and you're not losing any corner space.
I absolutely hate it when I have to I want a frying pan, and I literally have to take out all the 20 other frying pans that are on top of it in order to get the one that I want. So I absolutely love this organization that you can be able to have a coordinating lid right on the top, your pot right on the bottom, or even in the same pullout. I mean, this organization thing blows my mind. I want that.
Another thing, this is kind of going back to the commercial kitchen, but incorporating this into, residential kitchens, are hanging pots and pans. Pans at your fingertips, especially at the range, over the island, near the range again, just easy grab and go.
Galley sinks. So I don't know how many times you're like bumping whoever's at the kitchen out of the way of the sink so you can wash your hands, or you can still throw something in there. But this is a great solution for multiple cooks in a kitchen. Not only can you have 2 washing stations, but you can actually section off this galley sink into different types of compartments. You can have it for a storage place to be able to store some cool beverages for a party. You can actually create kind of a buffet style so somebody can come over and create their own sandwich if you wanted. A breadboard, you can be a chopping block. You really can do whatever you want with this galley sink. Just depends on the accessory that you want to purchase.
Next, we've got the copper sink. And the copper sink, it really cleans itself. And who wouldn't want that in your kitchen? Because one less thing for you guys to clean.
Here we've got some great solutions for tray dividers and a great solution for even stirring some extra ingredients, especially if it's something that you use often. I oftentimes like to stick the tray dividers on the top of a refrigerator cabinet because that cabinet is not very useful. Because it's so deep, it's so high, what are you going to put in there? Unless it's that thing that you use once a year. So I typically like to add some tray dividers. Great place for you to stick all of your trays, easy access, being able to use it quickly. And then again, we really are going to specialize your kitchen to your needs. Most of our cabinetry lines are custom. So here you have a great section to be able to put, you know, in this kitchen, a baker's dream. Being able to have their flour, their brown sugar, whatever they need, right at their open a drawer, working there, throw some more in there. You don't have to worry about cleanup or finding places for it.
Next, we get to elaborate presentation. And especially seeing this photo, they made an elaborate presentation on their island, in their own home. I wish I was invited to this.
This is what we consider more of a theater kitchen. So obviously, whoever commissioned this kitchen really loved to cook and really loved to entertain. This person truly enjoyed having their guests watch them cook, which is exactly what you see here. You really have to take your own personality and put it in here, you know, and be able to accommodate what it is that you like.
Next here, another thing, you know, with entertaining, these people seem like they love to entertain. They've got a large buffet pretty much as their island, and people, nice working area and traffic area for people to possibly go around this island for their, you know, Christmas dinner setup or their Thanksgiving dinner setup.
There is no party where everyone in the party doesn't end up in the kitchen at some point in time. I mean, it's literally impossible sometimes to work in there because you've got everyone in there. So this is a great example of how you can create your kitchen to kind of accommodate your needs and make sure that not only is it functional for you to cook at, but it's also the gathering place and to have plenty of room to be able to do a nice elaborate spread, to create a nice presentation for your guests. Some people, it's really important.
Also within this kitchen, this is great showing when they have guests over, their guests to be involved in the kitchen, but not necessarily in the kitchen, creating that open concept.
Sometimes it's really nice to have that open concept, but some people really appreciate to have designated spaces for themselves. So in this picture, not only are we creating a beautiful presentation focal point by having some glass columns separating the kitchen from the dining space, still maintaining an openness by having that space in the center, but we're also creating a very beautiful, a nice separation. So the cook can be in the kitchen, still interacting with their guests, but keeping them out of their cooking area.
What's great about this, like what Jen said, they segregated two areas. This is definitely segregating the two areas. You've got your dining room, and then off to the right would be your kitchen, but they still have a nice window to, you know, let food in from the kitchen to the dining room.
Again, we were talking about being able to create that presentation. This is actually one of my personal kitchens that I've designed, and really it was important for these people to be able to showcase some of their antiques and some of the things and collectibles that they've collected from family down the line. So what better way than to be able to incorporate that into the kitchen and being able to have a nice presentation area for all of their belongings.
Next is ambience, and ambience really creates that gourmet kitchen.
Here you're going to have a scene that I'm pretty sure everybody has encountered at one point in their lifetime. Christmas time, obviously, everyone's in the kitchen, everyone's helping everybody out. There is this ambiance of just warmth and welcome and being around family and everybody helping out. The ambiance is extremely important, and being able to have a kitchen that can accommodate multiple cooks, if that's what you prefer, is important to consider as well.
The next slide showing family eating dinner. What's great here is the ambience of having family together. So having that seating at the island, incorporating what everyone has to say for the day and leave for the day.
Ambience again. We are creating kind of more of that romantic scene, a little bit in this kitchen, a little bit more intimate kind of a feel, very elegant, a little bit more night. Lighting, materials, how it's set up has a big component in how space will feel, how it functions, how the ambience is set up.
This is a great picture showing that ambiance again. With that nice curved wall, and they're really focusing that light on that curved wall. the warm textures, adding that pendant lighting, creating that mood lighting for this kitchen.
And again, not everyone has ginormous homes to be able to do and create this ambiance. This is a great picture showing what a small space can actually function as a kitchen, but actually feel like it's part of the home. You know, it doesn't detract from the kitchen area, or the dining area, or from the living area, but you still have a really functional, small kitchen. In this kitchen, actually, I don't know how many times I've said that it's extremely important for you to actually put your own staple into the kitchen. This is actually another kitchen that I designed myself, and this was actually designed for someone who's no taller than 3 feet tall. So everything in this kitchen was custom made in order to be able to accommodate my clients' needs. They had some issues with dexterity, so we really took some time to be able to make sure that she didn't really have to carry pots and pans far away from the stove. The sink is really close proximity to the stove. Not to mention that she has another apron front sink on the other wall over here. She's got a low microwave drawer to be able to get and reach that, not having to reach up above to pull things down. She has a nice lower professional range with a door as opposed to a pull-down door in order to be able to get her food. So really our focus whenever we're creating a kitchen, and especially a gourmet kitchen, is to make sure that all of your needs are accommodated.
And to kind of end our presentation, a gourmet kitchen makes cooking a lot more fun, a lot less challenging, regardless of your skill level in the kitchen.
And now we're actually going to turn over the presentation to Lena, who's going to kind of describe a couple of her favorite appliances for us for a little bit. Unless you guys have any questions before we start on that section.
No.
Good. All right.
Well, thank you. You guys did a fabulous job. I learned a few things myself. I have to tell you, you really did. My name is Lena Cynthio. I work for Grand Appliance. I have a relationship with Insignia, and we work together to assist in any of your appliance needs. There's a couple products that I like to talk about, and one of them is actually this range that's right over here, Bertazzoni. I don't know if anybody has heard of Bertazzoni. So I'll just step over here, just that it's here. Bertazzoni is a range that's made in Italy, and their focus is cooking products, so that's all that they make. So they're experts at what they do. What's nice about this Bertazzoni is it has the look, it has the performance, and it doesn't have the high price point. I like to talk about product that gives you more value for your dollar, because there's other brands like La Cornue and Aga that could sell for like $25,000. This range is probably less than half that price. It also gives you a lot of function and feature. So you've got sealed burner, you've got low simmer burner, you've got higher output burner, you've got the nice trims, you know, the fancy knobs. It comes in 8 different colors. This is like a matte finish. They have a couple different ranges that have different designs. This is the old world look. This is their original range that they made back in the day, but I have other ranges that are more, you know, they're sleeker. This is Italian. It looks more contemporary. What you have to notice about a Bertazzoni range is that it's flush with your counter and it's flush with the cabinet, except for the door. So if you want that sleek, elegant look, Bertazzoni is a brand to go with. They also manufacture hoods now. So they have wall ovens, they have cooktops, they have gas, electric, induction. Their ranges come in 24, 30, 36, and 48. So if you have further questions about Bertazzoni, I happen to be an expert on this brand, and I'm glad that they have it in their showroom because it really looks beautiful. There's another brand that I love to talk about. It's called Liebherr Refrigeration. Has anybody ever heard of Liebherr? Oh, good. Talk about it. And we're going to go around the corner. So, but Liebherr is a product that's made in Germany. There are many different appliances today, and you know, buying appliances are an investment because you're redoing your house or building your house, and you want it to last a long time. And refrigeration is all about food preservation. Yes, it's got to look good, but it's preserving your food. And a lot of people don't really know what are the advantages of having dual compressor. Does anybody know here the advantages of having 2 compressors? Okay. So Sub-Zero
is a great brand, and Liebherr is another great brand. Sub-Zero is made in Madison, Wisconsin. Liebherr is made in Germany. So the reason they are such superior brands is because, part of the reason is because of the dual compressor. Most refrigerators today have one motor. So what happens is your refrigerator is moist, your freezer is dry, right? So when you have one motor, what happens is air will constantly mix between two compartments, from the fridge to the freezer, from the fridge to the freezer. What happens is dry air sucks up moisture. So that's why your food doesn't last as long, because most refrigerators today have one compressor. So people don't realize why your food goes bad quicker. It's because it's not the right environment. Like when you go to Dominic, or they don't have Dominic's anymore. You go to Jewel or Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. You notice how they're spraying the vegetables? There's a reason for that, because your food should be moist. Your freezer should be dry air. So when you mix compartments, that's when, you know, your fish, your ice could taste like fish, or vice versa. So the right environment is moist in the fridge, dry in the freezer.
So the two compartments are totally separated from
Yes,
each other.
they're
Right? Different compressors.
Exactly. You know, people say, well, more to go wrong. Not really, because your compressors are working less. They're what we call variable speed compressors. Variable speed only works when you open and shut the door. Otherwise, it's really, really low. It's like when you start up your car in the winter. If you don't warm it up and you take off, what happens? That motor's revved up pretty much. But variable speed, it stays at a very low speed all the time, and then it slowly increases or decreases depending on how much you open and shut the door. So I like to talk about, Sub-Zero is a great brand. They are the leader in North America. They truly are. Liebherr is the leader in Europe. Like, Liebherr has many different styles, and they actually started up post-war in 1954, and they have two divisions. They have heavy-duty construction machinery. They make airplane parts, landing gear. It's real impressive. It's a brother and a sister who control the company. And then the other division is refrigeration. They do all the commercial and residential refrigeration in Europe. They do freezers, they do wine, they do refrigeration. They've been in North America for about 20 years. And they don't have that name recognition as Sub-Zero, but they're still a good quality product for less money. And I'd like to show you one of the models around the corner, if that's okay.